Welcome back to another episode, Responsible Degenerate Podcast. I'm your host, Robbie. That's my host, Mel. And that's my host, Rolay. I just want to say congrats to the Aces 2025 champions.
Congrats.
Yeah, they defeated the Mercury 97-86. The game wasn't really close. It wasn't really entertaining, but here we are. AJ Wilson is Finals MVP for a second time. She wins her third championship. So what I thought about this game, man? Who want to start? Who want to start? You see, Rolly, the game put him to sleep, man. Like the game wasn't entertaining. The game wasn't entertaining at all. Like I was trying to stay up.
You're not supposed to tell him that.
We gotta tell him that.
Not supposed
we gotta
to
tell him that because like I'm pretty sure everybody's feeling the same way. Like
not supposed to tell him.
It was a surprise.
I started off. I mean, since first quarter, they was up double digits in the first quarter. I was like, damn, like I couldn't wait to the second half to do this. Like I was like, damn, man, like it wasn't really entertaining. It wasn't too much to be excited about on the Mercury part. Khalid Copper did have a good game tonight, a good bounce back game with 30 points. Besides Khalid Copper, it's really like nobody. I mean, AT did have a triple double, but her triple double wasn't really. I mean, it's a triple double, but it wasn't like that. Yeah, effective. It wasn't impactful. Yeah,
it just look. You look at the box score. Oh, she got.
It wasn't really
double.
impactful. I mean, besides those two, nobody. I did like the little minutes. Kalani Brown came in. She came in, gave him a little minutes.
What did I say? What did I say? What did I say? In 14 minutes, bro. I told you she needed to play.
She played some decent, good minutes. She gave him good minutes off the bench. Once again, the bench gave him nothing. Sammy gave him nothing. He did play hell today, but nothing. Mostly everybody nothing, to be honest, nothing. On the Aces side, Jackie Young, she didn't shoot well, but she did have a good complete game. AJ Wilson did dominate, per usual. Drew Lloyd, she didn't have a high scoring game, but she was very effective. Offensive rebounds. She hit like I think maybe 2 threes, attacking the basket. Chelsea Gray was Chelsea Gray. Once again, when the game was on the line, Chelsea Gray just turns up. They Mercury cut the lead down to 6. She came out of the timeout, 2-3, boom, back to 12. Melissa Smith, like every game this finals, like she's not, look at the scoring board, it's not much there, but rebounding, she had a lot of offensive rebounds today. The Aces as a whole had a lot of offensive rebounds today. Well, just like second chance opportunities. What else? Turnovers killed them Mercury. That's all I really got tonight. I might add on depending on what y'all saying, but like it just wasn't entertaining to me to where like it just wasn't like the build-up was like we might go 7 games, and then like the first 7 we finally get a 7-game series and then it ends in a sweep. So, but go ahead.
I can tell you from jump, like like our predictions, none of us had a sweep. None.
I had to sweep every round. I said Liberty sweep Mercury. I said the Lynx sweep Mercury, and look, they ass get swept by the Aces.
Nobody even had them getting here, so they played us all for a fool just to get here, and Cinderella can't find the shoe no more, man. It's foul, but I knew once Sabali was out, I chalked this one up. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I chalked it up. I was like, there's no way they're going to be able to repeat that production or like mix and match people on their bench to even try to get close to it. Because Nate Tibbetts wasn't even trying to look at the bench. It surprised me tonight that he went to Kalani Brown. I thought she could play in the series. The minutes that she got seemed impactful. It took away a lot of fouls from Alyssa Thomas and Wnba. So they were able to play, but it just seemed like Vegas was just on a mission. They just was like, yo, we gonna get this over with tonight. Like, I want to celebrate tonight. Like, I don't want to wait another 2-3 days to go home and, get them something to think they could, game plan for. This is over tonight. And you could tell from early. So, I'm watching the game. I'm seeing AJ Wilson take every shot possible, every imaginable. She was aggressive from the tip. Jackie Young was all over the court like always, Shaq and Kobe. And the contributions that they've been getting from Drew Lloyd and Dana Evans is just, it needs to be talked about. Like, they have been consistent and steady all series. Like, if Dana Evans didn't get fouled out last game, she would have been in double digits every game just as long as Jewel Lloyd. And I thought coming into this, Phoenix had the better bench. Now that I'm talking about bench, oh Lord, Sammy Whitcomb. They played 4 games. Whitcomb. They played 4 games. She hit 3 shots in 4 games. 3 shots in 4 games. Playing 15, 20 minutes plus. Like, that's just inexcusable. It's no tomorrow after this. It's like we don't come back and play another series after this. I don't care if you guys stay in the gym another 2 hours. Like, you can't give me 3 shots in 4 games. And the minutes that you play, it's inexcusable, man. Like, and I felt like Monique was actually in a rhythm, and they featured Sammy a little bit more than Monique, and it didn't do them justice. But shout outs to Kalia for trying to put it all on her back tonight. She tried. The Philly in her came out, but it just wasn't enough. Wnba, she played decent enough to contribute, to not be one of the reasons they lost. AT, she was efficient, but the triple-double didn't do much but make the box score look nice. And him just taking Natasha Mack out the rotation says a lot. But yeah, it's just all in all, congratulations to Aces. It wasn't a close game. They did cut it, but they was gassed. They didn't have the ability to do another comeback. They kept, it just wasn't it. It wasn't their series. So GG's to the Aces. Oh damn, my light went off. GG's to the Aces. They're telling me time for bed, man. night, Phoenix. But GG's to the Aces. Asia Wilson, well deserved. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, well, first off, I just want to, say congratulations to the Aces for winning the chip. Well deserved. Like how they mentioned all the time. The first half of the season, I mean, it was questions about the Aces even making it to the playoffs. Because we remember a lot of bad losses, getting beat by the Valkyries by 30. The most memorable one was in Minnesota losing by like 58 or whatever it was, and it was times where you're like, "Yo, is the Aces gonna make the playoffs? Becky should be fired. What's going on with the team?" Joel Lloyd asking to come off the bench. There's a lot of questions about that team early on, but like how we always say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And they finished on an immaculate run. I think it was like a 13, 14 game win streak. They came in the playoffs. They did what they had to do. They took care of Seattle. They took care of a very tough defensive-minded team in Indiana. And I just feel like, they just that moxie just continued to show. And, they did what they did in the finals, man. And, I have nothing but the utmost respect for Asia Wilson. It's hard to argue that she's not the greatest in the world right now. There's nothing that you can say right now that's taking her.
Oh, I think we gotta have another argument.
The world, yeah, I mean the world.
All time.
That's what I say when I think the world. Like there's nobody better here. Like it's Asia Wilson, and then everybody like this is her world. You know what I'm saying? Aces did what they had to do. But let me just go back to the game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm shocked. But I'm not shocked because Phoenix lost the game. I'm not shocked at all because looking at game 3, I'm like, okay, listen, there's a high chance the Aces is going to win. I'm shocked about how Phoenix came out of this game looking so lethargic. You could tell right away, I think it was like in the beginning of the second quarter, you could tell instantly that the Mercury knew that they wasn't going to win. Listen, I hope Alyssa Thomas, wishing her speedy recovery on that shoulder because it definitely didn't look good. When Jewel Lloyd set that screen, you could kind of tell, like you could see something move in that shoulder. And I was very worried. And, of course, prayers out to her. She came back in the game, hoping she heals and, it's nothing too crazy. But I ain't going to lie. For the first time in my life, I can say I've seen Alyssa Thomas look defeated because in that first quarter, even the second quarter, before she got injured, the body language was off. It seemed as if she realized we're outmatched. Nothing. I've never seen Alyssa Thomas, and this is not just saying it's just her, but this is just me. Like she's injured. She's a leader. The first time I seen Alyssa Thomas just look out of it. She looked like she had no fight, and I was just like, that's not a good look. And just all across the board, Phoenix was just outmatched. You could tell right away. It didn't take long. who the better team was and who was going to win that game. Now, obviously, the Aces did continue. I said the Aces. The Mercury did fight. They did come back, as they always do. They've been doing that all playoffs long, coming back from deficits that seem insurmountable because they have grit, they have toughness, they have intestinal fortitude. But at the end of the day, they shouldn't be putting themselves in that much of a deficit to come back against a great team like this. Listen, I want to shout out to Monique Okowa. I love the aggression that she came out with this game. I understand she's a rookie, but she was out there looking for her shot. She tried. You know what I'm saying? Wnba did what she could, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. Kalia Kappa, loved it. I saw that the first play of the game was getting Kalia Kappa a shot, and I remember them saying pregame where they was like, Nate Tibbins was like, yo, like he was telling Kalia Kappa in practice to look for your shot, be aggressive, and that's great. And I'm glad he's instilling that confidence in Kalia Kappa. But my thing is, you shouldn't wait till you down 3-0 to mention that. That's something you should say. You should be saying at the beginning of the series. I don't know if he did, maybe not. But at the end of the day, you down 3-0. Kalia Kappa should have been more of a focal point in that offense to begin with. Because to be honest with me, still, I don't think nobody on the Aces could guard Kalia Kappa. The thing is, she didn't get a chance to get enough shots early on in the other games. And she just wasn't, the ball wasn't in her hands enough. I know AT is injured, but I would have loved to see Kalia Kappa, take the most shots. Obviously, she did that tonight. She did what she could. No, she got fouled out. I know a lot of, emotions was flaring. Tibbins getting thrown out the game. I still don't understand that. I saw him walk up to the ref, but it just seemed like, you frustrated. It's like, like what's going on? And then the fact that he got thrown out, it's just like, damn. And this is happening at home. It's like you're just seeing a meltdown of just things going wrong for the Mercury. And it's just like, damn. But even then, listen, at the end of the day, they came back, they fought. But, just to continue to talk about Phoenix, listen, Sammy Whitcomb, very disappointing. I mean, like how I reiterated, I'll just reiterate. Like, I look crazy because I chose the Mercury to win this series 4-2.
We all did.
And it's like, it's just fascinating to me about like how certain players could just look here and then the next time they look, Sammy Whitcomb was non-existent. I know she hyper extended that knee, I think in game 2, but Sammy Whitcomb, her shot just didn't even look the same. It just looked rushed. Phoenix looked very anxious tonight. And for the first time, I can say I think they realized early on, like, yo, Aces, they got it. It's nothing that we could do with them. Jackie Young doing her thing. Asia, like I said, the greatest player in the world, killing it. At the end of the day, I don't know why she only seeing one body for the life of me. It's a high chance that we're gonna lose, but I'm not gonna let Asia Wilson do it. Somebody else beat me. I'm sending double teams. I'm sending 3 people. Asia Wilson cannot get a shot. I'm looking at this game. Asia Wilson has one-on-one coverage. I don't see no changes. Obviously, Nate got fouled. He got ejected, but I didn't see no changes on the offensive end. They tried defensively. I don't know what was going on, but more shout out to the Aces. Jewel Lloyd continued to ball out. She had 12, full faith from the field. I mean, Dana Evans came and did what she did. Even Gustafson, even though she didn't score, just her presence alone, she's a shooter. I mean, the Aces was just too much of they just had too much firepower. And I just can't believe I'm saying that, not to say that I didn't think the Aces was a good team. I just thought Phoenix had more based off of what I've seen, but what we've been seeing all playoffs long. But as you can tell, it was just, they just got outmatched. Phoenix got outmatched. But listen, man, shout out to the Aces. They did what they needed to do. They held it down in Phoenix, and, they got that shit.
Yeah, and it's all about, Agent Wilson said this too, it's all about what you got in your chest, man. Because, like, they were up double digits. They, number one, all day, all series, they began to all the 50-50 balls. And when you're the losing team, you're supposed to win those. And you could tell the Aces was up double digits, and Agent Wilson was still jumping out of bounds to save the ball. Like, she was trying to go get it. Like, I want it. That's how you know, like, who really won it, You seen Dana Evans, she was popping that shit to AT bumped her. She was like, you ain't moving. She was talking those series to her and DB. Like, she was popping her shit, man. That was good to see because, last year in Chicago, she was one of the ones that they tried to, like, crucify because, bad play over there, whatever happened over there. But that was last year. This year, she looked a totally different player. She looked great. Yeah. Like that shot, sweet. She was getting to it. But I got 2 questions for y'all. Well, actually, it's one. No, that's like yeah, this too. First of all, Mel, you did hint to it. What y'all thought about that tech about Nate being ejected? Because me, I felt like you said, I was with you, Mel. Like, I don't understand why he was ejected. One tech, cool. Like, and then people saying, oh, she a woman. At the end of the day, you a ref. Man, woman, treated the same way. It don't matter what man or woman. I didn't touch you. I yelled in your face. Cool. I just seen plenty of men refs getting yelled in their face. One tech, one tech, boom, and then it's all good. I didn't get that double tech and throwing them out at a championship game. But what did y'all think about that ejection?
I literally felt just like you said, like it became personal because it doesn't. The job is unisex. It could be male refs, it could be female refs. You don't have the right to make whatever he said to you personal just because your sex or your gender. That's not how this works. Like, we fight for equal rights for what? Like, you want to be a female ref? You take male criticism. It doesn't matter. Like, doesn't matter who it comes from. Male, female, everybody gets the same warning, same jurisdiction. You can't just pick and choose who you want to up the ante on. So I felt like she took it personally because he was a male and he got aggressive with her. So, is it right? No. Was he wrong for screaming at her? Yeah, but it wasn't worth no double text. Plus, not no championship game. We letting stuff go all night. So why are we being so crucial and detrimental with two texts in a blink of an eye? That didn't make sense to me. But it seemed like the ref took it personal. Definitely.
Yeah, even just to allude to what I mentioned earlier. Yeah, it was like, because at first it just happened so fast. All I saw was like the crowd go crazy. I'm like, they was like, oh, he got ejected. I'm like, ejected. So I was like, okay, let me just watch the replay. And I mean, he, like I said, he was in her face, and I'm like, okay, get it. But at the end of the day, I didn't see him put his hands on her. I didn't. All I just saw was a coach just frustrated about. I can't even really remember what the call was for, lack of a call or whatever. So, all right, you frustrated, emotions is high, but at the end of the day, I mean, that happens all the time. Like, coaches get frustrated, but as a ref, it's your job to keep your cool. Like, you're a ref, you're supposed to de-escalate the situation, not escalate it. And I think in that moment, she felt the way about him being so close in her face. And because she's a ref, she has the power. And she was like, yo, I'm out of here. At the end of the day, did he deserve a tech? Yes. One tech, cool. Like, yo, can't be that close, et cetera, et cetera. Give him a warning or whatever. But to throw him out of the game at that point, it's like I was really befuddled, and I just feel like there's no right explanation to be like it. Nothing justifies him getting thrown out. Like I said, if he would have put his hands on her, different story. Got to get up out of here. But from what I've seen, all I saw was a coach that was trying to get his players motivated, by the lack of a call, like, just trying to change the tune. I get at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. He did get in her face. Yes, that is correct. But at the end of the day, the ref's job is supposed to cool things down. Walk away if you need to. Walk away. Don't mind it. Don't feed into the emotion. Now you got the coach hot. Now you hot, but you got the whistle. So you're the one that's warning. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're in power to make a call or not. So the fact that you let the emotions get the best of you in that moment, it just wasn't, to me, that's nothing justifies that, because he didn't put his hands on you. You're the ref. Walk away. Go down the court. Step away. Get away from that tense moment. Listen, his team is getting smoked. They're about to get swept. He's frustrated. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you got to know when to leave things alone. And I felt that, she didn't do a good job of that.
And my second question before we get out of here, with this third finals loss, being swept, does this knock AT down a few notches as far as tiers, or do you still view her on that same tier as like a Stewie, Asia, not Asia, Stewie? All right, let's just say, would you knock her down a few notches as far as all time wise, due to these three losses? And like, you can tell that, and when she goes against like the agent, you could tell the difference between her and the agent. Like yeah, you could really see that it's really levels to this when she plays against the agents, the Stewies,
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, would y'all knock her down a few notches, or would y'all just leave her where she at, even with this third finals loss, being a sweep too at that?
Getting all the way to the finals, getting swept. I wouldn't. I wouldn't knock her down a couple notches, not per se, but I would definitely agree that she's not on Stewie and AT's level because they've done it. They have accomplished that. They accomplished that. So I don't want to compare. I don't want to compare the resumes because it's not fair. But pound for pound, like, can she hold her own against them? Yeah. But like Mel said, respectfully, it's levels. Like, I don't think AT is gonna be forgotten. She's in the record books. She's one of the most unique players that W has, and she's gonna be like, you're gonna see a lot of females try to model their game after her. So I don't think she'll be forgotten. But is she on their levels? No. Do I think she can make it back? Depends on the team, but she says she ain't gonna be done till she get a ring. She's not gonna stop till she get a ring. And she play every minute, so I don't see her stopping no time soon. So hey, she might be here next year. Shit. She might be able to to redeem herself next year. So no, I'm not gonna knock her down, but I agree that it's levels. She's not on that level. She didn't enter that club as of yet, but she's still one of one. She's still unique at the end of the day. So I'm not gonna say she's not a superstar. You feel me? Like if we put it on a superstar level, I'm gonna say she's still a superstar. She's a franchise player, but there's levels. There's max and super max.
I don't know if you win with her as your number one though. To be honest, I don't think you can win with her as number one.
If you put the right, but look at the team she had. You put the right team around her, she can succeed. You feel me? She can flourish.
Yeah, she still didn't win with that team. She still didn't win. She didn't get a game.
I ain't gonna lie, they ran into a buzzsaw, man. They ran into a buzzsaw. Vegas just looked determined and poised, and like they was on a mission. Everybody looked different. Everybody, once the playoffs started, everybody on the Aces looked different, man. Like everybody stepped it up a notch. So yeah, I'm gonna say she a superstar, but it's a max and a super max for a reason.
Yeah. Just to piggyback off of that, yeah, I wouldn't knock AT down, a couple notches. Alyssa Thomas is still one of the greatest players to ever pick up a basketball, and just understanding what she's accomplished thus far in her career with 2 torn labrums is incredible. Her impact, you cannot teach that. Like, you cannot. There's not a lot of people, if anybody, that could do what AT does day in, day out. Never gets tired. Defensive menace, engine, playmaker, game changer. With facilitating the ball, moving the ball around, being an impact, being an inspiration to her players. You know what I'm saying? And her teammates. So I feel like at the end of the day, Alyssa Thomas is still one of the greats. She's still gonna be one of those ones. I mean, the records that she's been able to break, it's incredible. She's done things that the league has never seen before. AT will be in the Hall of Fame. She will be one of the greatest players to ever play. With saying that, it's levels, right? When with Asia Wilson is in the world, it's Asia Wilson. Nobody else could even right now. It's Asia, right? And other than that, like you got the Stewies, but I would say Asia, in terms of them, I don't think Alyssa Thomas matches up in terms of just like playing style. Because listen, at the end of the day, Alyssa Thomas, she doesn't have a ring, and I do feel like, despite, because like I said, Phoenix, they didn't even have their whole team is different. Like they didn't have half of the players they had this year last year. So it's like this is their first time, really gelling with that team. So I just feel like overall, like they still need time to kind of get right. But at the end of the day, I don't think that Alyssa Thomas, in terms of like playing style and game, I just feel like you can't really compare her because of her inability to shoot the ball for the first time. Like how I mentioned, I feel like this series, Alyssa Thomas lack of shooting got exposed. Like not like, because this is the first time where it was like, oh, her not having a jump shot is affecting the team. Alyssa Thomas has played against team after team where they win, or even if they lose, you're not being like, yo, they lost because Alyssa Thomas isn't shooting the ball or she doesn't have a good jump shot. In this finals game, the way that they were playing the Mercury and just playing Alyssa Thomas, you can tell her inability to shoot the ball hurt the team. It's not the main reason they lost. It hurt the team because it's late into the shot clock. And then Alyssa Thomas is dribbling the ball like, yo, I'm trying to get somebody open. Somebody come off of a flare screen back. And at the end of it's late. And then you're getting a late shot in the shot clock. And I feel like against a team like the Aces, when you're going up against somebody like A'ja Wilson, you got to go back and forth because A'ja going to give you 30. You got to find a way to combat that in some shape or form. And if it's like, okay, if you're not going to shoot the jump shots, you got to find a way to score the ball. And I feel like the inability to shoot because of the two torn labrums, it for the first time it's actually played the impact in the game, and is one of the reasons that the Mercury lost the series. So we're saying that she's still one of the greatest players in the world, but at the end of the day, I don't think that we can. I wouldn't take anything away from her greatness, but when we having these conversations about the greatest of all time, you know, she just doesn't really stack up against the A'ja, maybe even the Stewie, just because at the end of the day, if Stewie or A'ja was to lose a game, you're not like, damn, like their offense is, they can't make a jump shot, or it's just like, yo, they had a bad shoot at night or whatever. But with AT, it's kind of glaring, like, yo, damn, if she had that, if I could pick and pop with her, can you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's just a lot of questions. So, she's still a great player, but I wouldn't put her on that tier one with like the A'ja Wilsons and the Stewie. She's still one of the
definitely Hall of Famer, but she just don't got that resume to enter that elite tier one club with the DTs, the A'jas, the Stewies. Because like they all they got MVPs, they got Finals MVPs, they got championships, and she literally just has none of those. But she's a good passer, good rebounder, good defender, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like I said, when we be watching A'ja Wilson do her thing, she's getting the ball, taking over, getting to her spots, taking over, and AT is not unable to do that. Like she don't have that game to where she could take over a game. Her game is just either I'm a run a dribble handoff with a guard, or hopefully find somebody back door, or just charge my way to the basket and hope I get a layup or foul or something. But yeah, I agree with what y'all saying, man.
Like I know it's late. Just get this last thing off because you made a great point. And another thing, I feel like I said, Alyssa Thomas is still one of the greats, but I do feel like it's kind of a bump down because when you really look at the key pivotal moments in the playoffs and even in the finals, let's not forget game one, the Mercury was up the majority of that game. And then Aces went into a zone. They went on a run. They forgot how to play. Let's not forget, and I didn't call this out when we spoke about it because I forgot. It was a tie game, I remember. And then I think, Alyssa Thomas was at the line. She missed both free throws. And let's go back against the Liberty. When the game that Liberty stole on the road, in the fourth quarter, Alyssa Thomas had a wide open layup. At the end of the fourth quarter, she missed. There's been multiple, and even in, like I said, even in this series, game one, they shouldn't have lost, right? You're looking at the last game. That play where she tried to attack Megan Gustafson towards the end and she missed the layup. Appreciate her aggressiveness, but in that key pivotal moment, you got to know, like, let me give it to Kalia Copper. Like she the one that's
personnel. Got to know personnel.
Yeah. And the last thing with this game, like I said, before the shoulder injury, for the first time, it looked like Alyssa Thomas didn't have the fight. So in too many key critical moments, I'm seeing Alyssa Thomas not really stepping up and making it count when they need her. And I feel like with this final series, it kind of it's more glaring because you can't hide. You like everything is exposed, so that effort has got to be there. You know what I'm saying? So
that's facts, man. I agree with all that, man. Well, like you said, congrats to the Las Vegas Aces 2025 champs. I'm gonna have my Jackie jersey or shirt, whatever.
You gotta get some. You gotta get some gear.
Yeah, I'm
my
Jackie.
You gotta get some.
Jackie only one besides A'ja that I really really like. So
I already called Jackie, bro. I called Jackie.
Everybody got represent Chelsea.
I've been loving Jackie for years now.
I called Jackie.
I don't care what you call.
Crazy, bro. Go get an A'ja South Carolina jersey.
Hell no.
Go rep the Gamecocks game.
Well, let's hope this is not the last season for a while. Hopefully there's no lockout. We gotta look.
Oh, don't throw that in there.
You heard what they did this? Yeah, you heuld what they did to Kathy when she was up there giving the trophy.
They ain't nobody, like, the public ain't effing with her, man. So
Not at all.
We just gotta hope both sides come to a good agreement before next season, and we can look forward to a season, coming up, But until then, we'll be on college basketball. It starts next month, so we're gonna start out with that. Hopefully, we can have a lot of guests also come through college basketball, and then in January you also got a rival. So that's two different things. So hopefully we could get some guests that's actively playing ball or something. Yeah, let's see, bro. Let's manifest it. From my mouth to God's ears, hopefully we could, get somebody that's playing on one of these teams, pull up on us and we have a good conversation with them. But like I said, once again, congrats to the Aces. Congrats to AJ Wilson.
I'm gonna pour up one for you.
Yeah, I'd have poured up.
Shout out to
Jackie,
I'd have poured up, but I ain't got nothing to pour right now. I'm on daddy duty, but maybe tomorrow I will pour tomorrow. Tomorrow Saturday I will pour 3-day weekend. I will pour tomorrow. Like, subscribe, and share. Show love. Y'all been showing love. It's been a good WNBA season. We hit one of our goals.
Sorry, had to come.
We still on our way to 250. We right there. 95 more subscribers, and we right there. We moving.
Thank you.
Keep showing love, man.